How to waste your vote in the EU elections 2019? Don't vote. I mean, it's so complicated. Or as this guy would put it, it is basically more trouble than it is worth. United States of Europe making fun of the EU the American way. Campaign season in the EU, otherwise known as big discounts on anti-EU Facebook ads when you pay in rubles. When Europeans are faced with the situation that not voting is basically a vote for Putin, maybe it's worth trying to figure out one big question. What the hell does this campaign billboard have to do with who's going to be the next EU president? Now in the Netherlands, this is our EU election menu, starting with the usual suspects: D66 for Europe, Christian Democrats pro-Brussels, and PVV Nexit, Netherlands out of the EU. Because who hasn't looked at Brexit and thought, that's a recipe for success? I mean, who is funding this PVV party anyway? I totally don't know, but I think it sounds like a great idea. And pretty soon we're getting into parties that don't allow women, like the SGP, or basically Sausage Guy Party. Then there's the party called Jesus Lives, whose main candidate is Zombie Jesus. And if you really want to send a weirdo to the EU Parliament, don't worry. This guy is still in the running. But it's not like any of these options on the poster has anything to do with who's going to be the next EU president, except for one. Frans Timmermans is actually one of the main candidates for the top job of EU Commission President, the one to replace President Juncker, or if you will, President Drunker. Now each of these parties fits into one of these main coalitions in the EU Parliament, and each coalition has its own main candidate. Like Frans Timmermans from the Labour Socialists, he's the cool dad candidate. He likes Bruce Springsteen, but the translation of his name, Timmermans, is literally carpenters.
We've only just begun.
There's the Green Coalition, represented by this Dutch guy, Bas Eickhout, or Oakwood, because it's organic. In yellow, it's the Alliance of Liberals and Democrats, represented by Guy Verhofstadt, for all those Europeans feeling like they're being ruled by some capital city far away. Verhofstadt translates literally to capital city far away. In light blue, it's the Christian Conservatives, represented by Manfred Weber. Weber, he's actually likely to win. He's like the Weber Grill. I will grill you, Mr. Oakwood. In dark blue, you've got the really Christian conservatives, and I won't get into them. But on the far right, you've got the black hole of EU politics. The Eurosceptic anti-EU parties could better be called red for Russia. But speaking of wackos, let's go back for a moment to the Blue Coalition, which includes Hungary's leader, Viktor Orban. Orban leading the most illiberal democracy in the EU. Orban. He wants to ban the political opposition, or ban the judiciary, or ban an independent media, or ban the universities because they're owned by the Jews. Sorry, the globalists. Reminding us all to be grateful that the EU liberated East Europe from the yoke of communism to return them to their naturally occurring state of fascism. So that's basically how not to waste your vote for the 2019 EU elections. And I don't need to tell you who I'll be voting for myself, but I'll give you a guess.